Hi everybody, this is Anthony Fridgley, known as Anthony Fridgley 2003 on my YouTube channel here. And today, I'm going to tell you about my wrongdoings. But I will have to try my best in this video. But it wouldn't be easy for me, kind of. So today I'm going to explain and doing my wrongdoings because what I did wrong, what I did like back in the morning on January 19th of 2026, I had a really bad tantrum. I was throwing a tantrum back then. So speaking of that, I was going to tell you what. So yeah, before I'll say that recently, I'm going to tell you all that stuff first before I'll do the recent part. So yeah. So let's get started. Here we go. Let's get started. So here's what. So today I'm going to tell you what admitting my wrongdoings. Number 1. I remember back in 2020 or 2021, I keep forcing and Ali Justin 2000 to upload some booba. And originally he said I cannot do booba stuff. And back in 2021, he said he was going to block me if I did do it one more time. But yeah, that was kind of really my fault. Well, I did that for a reason, because of the Lost Booba episodes, because of the US version of booba. Even though Ali Justin 2000 does have a booba record blank tape, even though I did found out he did upload the booba and credits on his channel. So yeah, and on his other channel too. Number 2, I was back in 2024. I remember I was friends with Dan Sobol and Amanda Cartret behind our backs. I remember Ryan Sylvia said you should need to cut ties Dan Sobol, but I said I'm good. But unfortunately, I didn't realize. When I found out on July 2024, before Brandon Pippin cut ties me, I remember Homer Simpson just made a cringe video on me. Before some other YouTubers cutting ties me. So yeah. And also, I used to be friends with Dan Sobol and Amanda Cartret, but nowadays I cut ties them. But I first cut ties Dan Sobol the first time in August of 2024, but I started liking him again in December of 2024. But I shouldn't have done that. After I found out Dan Sobol hates me, and it hurts my feelings when Dan Sobol cutting ties me. Yeah, I shouldn't have just. I remember originally I should have cut ties, but I should have just moved on with Dan Sobol. I should not be friends with him ever again. I guess the reasons why they didn't. I guess the reasons why they didn't want Dan Can Be Trusted after Dan Sobol was changing his pajamas in front of the kids on TikTok. Originally, they do handle their opinions on Dan Sobol, but nowadays, until after he was changing his pajamas in front of the kids on TikTok back in 2024, because I didn't know that Dan Sobol was screaming, but I didn't cut ties him until I didn't cut ties Dan Sobol recently until April of 2025. So yeah, but it's a good thing I cut ties Dan Sobol in 2025 recently, which is last year, which is back in April 7th of last year, 2025. So yeah, and I also cut ties. I did cut ties Dan Sobol recently in 2025, which is April. It's a good thing I cut ties, but unfortunately, Brandon Pippin, Andy Ho, Brandon Harrison, and some YouTubers tell me that I'm in no position on hating Dan Sobol. Oh yeah, I know Brandon Harrison told me I'm in no position on hating Amanda Cartwright as well. After I told her I love to accept her apology, but your apology is denied. So yeah, so yeah, and I did cut ties Amanda Cartwright back in, so I believe June 18th or 19th of last year of 2025. I did cut ties to her, but I'm glad. I don't just hate Amanda Cartwright. I just have no opinions on them. For me, I do this right now. I do the same thing like SK1996. I kind of do hate Amanda Cartwright or Dan Sobel, but most of all, I just have no opinions on them because originally the reasons why I cut ties Amanda Carter and Dan Soul, because I don't want to get my haters for that. But I'm glad Ryan Sylvia liked me again after I cut ties Amanda Cartwright and Dan Sobel. Well, actually, right after I cut ties Amanda Cartwright, actually. So yeah. Well, I did cut ties Dan Sobel recently before. I didn't cut ties Amanda Cartwright until June. So yeah. So yeah. I don't know what. Yeah, and unfortunately, I remember Homer Simpson just made a cringe video on me back in 2024 before some until Brandon Pippin hates me. Unfortunately, sadly, Brandon Pippin still hates me now. He still doesn't. And nowadays, Brandon Pippin, Andy Ho, some other YouTubers now hate me. Well, nowadays they hate Andy Ho because he was dating a 7-year-old girl named Emily for Barney and Friends. So yeah. I'm really sorry that I was friends with Dan Sobel and Amanda Cartwright behind our backs. So yeah. I'm not sure what else I gotta say, but I should have just cut ties. I should have cut ties Dan Sobel before they hate me. I shouldn't have done that in the first place, but I'm afraid it was too late for that. But it's a good thing I cut ties. It's a good thing I'm no longer friends with Dan Sobel and Amanda. I'm glad I'm no longer. I'm glad I did not. I'm glad I fed up. I have officially fed up with Dan Sobel and Amanda Cartwright nowadays. I also hate Andy Ho, but I don't think I hate Brandon Pipp. Some YouTubers who hates me. I'm only neutral to them because I thought Brandon. So yeah. And number 3, I remember back in 2021, back in August of 2021, I remember Ryan Goodwin when they cut ties me, when Adam DeZayas and Ryan Goodwin hates me back before they hate me again recently. I keep forcing Ryan Goodwin and pestering him for uploading Apollo 13 VHS review and any other Dr. Seuss's back in 2021. I should have done that a lot. I should have done that in the first place. So yeah. And finally, recently, back as of today, I was just like Amanda Cartwright or some students I see at high school. I was just throwing a tantrum. I just made some holes. I made a hole in the wall in my bedroom. So yeah. And I was upset. I was really upset. And I was kind of throwing a tantrum while I'm in the bedroom. And I broke some walls. Well, actually, I originally started break walls a long time ago. Before I did the rest of the walls. I had holes in my walls in my bed. But now I had a hole through the hallway nowadays. Nowadays they have holes in the other wall, that other side of the wall in the hallway in the bedroom. Now I have holes next to my bedroom. Yeah, I was just breaking it, and while I was throwing a tantrum. I was naughty. I shouldn't have done that. Next time, well, the reasons why I originally threw, I even hit my grandmother, and I also spitting at her as well. I even kind of broke her door. that was really my fault as well. So I'm really sorry what I've just done, you guys. I did not do anything. I didn't mean to do anything wrong on my other YouTubers, but except today though. I did not. Well, not the YouTubers. I didn't mean to do anything wrong. I didn't realize I did something wrong. I didn't mean to do anything wrong before recently, back in the past, or recently in this year, 2026. So yeah. So please do not hate me. So I'm really, really sorry, you guys. Can you forgive me? Thank you. And all the YouTubers or my haters who are out there which is Brandon Pippin, some other YouTubers who told me I'm in no position on hate those YouTubers. I'm very, very sorry that I was friends with Dan Sobel and Amanda Cartwright behind our backs. Can you forgive me? Thank you. I'm very sorry what I've done. I would never force Allie to upload some booba stuff. I would never be friends with Dan Sobel and Amanda Cartwright ever again. And unfortunately I was throwing tantrums. I was hitting. I'm afraid I was just like Amanda Cartwright 2.0. But I wouldn't do that ever again. I'll try to learn my lesson. I'll try to learn my lesson. And I am no longer friends with Dan Sobel, Amanda Cartwright, Andy Ho. Maybe some YouTubers, but well, yeah. Oh, there's one YouTuber I've never been friends before, which is Bubba Guerrero. This YouTuber I really hate. And I have no opinions on Eric Payne either. So yeah, I just had a bad day. So yeah, if you want to see my video, just look it up. But unfortunately, when that video ended, it just cut it by itself with the full memory. I don't know what my last words were saying, but yeah. So yeah. So I'm really, really sorry what I've done. So can you please forgive me? Thank you. I'm not sure what else I did wrong on my YouTube channel, but I'll try not to do anything bad again. And I'll do something a lot better video. I'll do something even better. I'll try not to. I was thinking about not throwing a tantrum again, but unfortunately I did do it anyways. But I'll try not to do it again because I'm afraid, because I'm not a kid anymore. I did have a job, but unfortunately I did have a job practice on Tuesday. Don't tell me I need to grow up and get a job. And I hope you're not going to deny my apology. So yeah. So yeah, I'm very sorry what I've done. So yeah. So it's kind of like an apology video for everyone and my wrongdoings. So yeah. So yeah. So yeah, I'm very sorry that I was friends with Dan Sobel and Amanda Cartwright. And for Allie, Allie Jessa, if you're watching this, I'm really sorry that I forced you to upload some booba stuff. I know you don't do that anymore. I know you never do that, but yeah. It's kind of hard to explain. In case you're wondering, I do have autism. Well, a lot of YouTubers who have autism. I know some other YouTubers have bad days. I know, but I would have never called people bad names. But I wouldn't. I know a lot of YouTubers make swearing and make fun of Amanda Cartwright, but Amanda Cartwright doesn't do swear words. But I know Dan Sobel does. Unfortunately, Amanda Cartwright did wish her a happy 9/11, but I know 9/11 is not a happy thing. It's really a sad event. I did not know 9/11 until yeah, that's how I feel when people are passing away. I would be really upset sometimes. And that's how I feel when Ohio Teletubbies Universe got terminated or Bella Harris got no longer on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really sorry what I've done in the past. So yeah, can you please forgive me? And some of the stuff you probably don't want to know, but yeah. Some of my wrongdoings I can't tell you that, but yeah. But yeah, I think that's all I gotta say for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you're gonna cheer me up. Don't not make fun of me, or being up on me, or bullying or criticizing me, or any kind of drama at me, or make bad videos out of me, or rant videos on me. Cause I'm not as bad as a man of I didn't want to be bad. I wouldn't be a bad person. I'm just not a bad person. So yeah. I just had a bad day. In case you're aware, I just had a bad day in the morning. I just had a bad day. But I'm glad they didn't hate me. I'm glad no one hates me though. I mean in person, not the YouTubers. I know Brandon Pippin, some other YouTubers hate me, but so yeah. I hope I didn't deserve anything. So yeah, but I would have been I would have been really upset if they did cut-ties me a lot. So yeah. I think that's all I gotta say for this video. Thanks for watching. Peace.